Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone is doing fantastic out there. And if you are football fans for everything, pretty much, I hope you are watching the Euros and enjoying the competition so far. I've been enjoying it as an Azzurri fan and also a partial England fan. You know, both teams are doing okay and in the advanced stages of the competition. So it's been really fun to watch that, obviously, in the off season while Milan has been off. I even went to the game in Wembley for the Italy versus Austria game, which was fantastic. Went into extra time. Yeah, it was really good. You know, I got my money's worth from that game. But we are here today to talk about Milan. We're obviously here always to talk about Milan. And most importantly, as the July the 1st official opening of the summer transfer window, you know, we can assess the moves made so far, the pending moves, what's been lingering with rumours, and also kind of, I thought it was quite interesting. I saw an article produced by Ollie midweek, which was touching on the positions that we still need, you know, enhancement in and sort of depth coming into the squad. And there are about 7 to 8 positions, players we need coming into the squad who are going to make this squad obviously complete going into the new season for the 2021-2022 season. So yeah, I think we'll just break those positions down and how many of each of these positions that we may need coming into the club, and even rumour mills to who these players might be. So firstly, looking at the major incomings and outgoings in the players of the squad so far this summer, obviously incomings have been Mike Mignon and Fikayo Tomori, spoken about in previous videos. Those deals total around 41 million euros together combined. So, you know, it's a fair chunk of money has been spent so far on the market on 2 players. Obviously, Mignon comes in as a replacement to Gigio Donnarumma, who has left the club as a free agent and is pending an arrival to PSG. Another outgoing is obviously Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who is leaving us for Inter Milan. That's all I will say on that one. I don't really want to go further into that debate. The only major sale that the club has generated so far is Diego Laxalt to what I believe is a Russian club for 3 to 4 million euros. It's a good deal considering that's pretty much his value. We were hoping to get that from Celtic, considering they were the club that he went on loan to last season. But we're happy that he's gone elsewhere, and you know, I wish him the best for opportunities abroad. So let's quickly breeze through the squad that we have in hand right now. And obviously I'm going to include players returning back from loan. So that is Caldara, Andrea Conti, Pobega and Colombo, who have come back from obviously Italian teams. The players we have so far at the squad for next season, excluding those players I just mentioned, are starting off in goal. We have starter Mike Mignon, backups Tatarusanu, and Plizzari has been brought back into the squad. And from what I'm hearing, he's been going to be given a third place role in the squad. Hopefully, like a rotation with Tatarusanu and play some Coppa Italia games there. Looking at centre backs, we have Simon Kjaer, Alessio Romagnoli, Fikayo Tomori, Matteo Gabbia, and even Pierre Kalulu can be constituted as a centre back, despite the fact he can also play right back. So we're kind of set in those 2 positions there so far. So that's centre backs and goalkeepers. Following on from here, this is really where we're going to need to add some more depth into the side, because obviously we had a lot of players coming into the squad last year on loan, some of whom may be coming back on a renewed loan or a permanent deal. But as of yet, we haven't finalised those deals yet. So if we look at the fullback positions, we have Theo Hernandez and Davide Calabria, who are obviously still with us, still doing very impressive, but they need players to be backups to them, to be rotational pieces into our squad. At the left back position, we have been rumoured to be negotiating with Junior Firpo from Barcelona, who is predominantly a left back. And obviously for a right back option, we could hopefully get a renewed loan deal for Diogo Dalot from Manchester United, or kind of find a way to sort of buy him outright. I would like to see that deal happen, because I feel like he had a 6 out of 10 year at the club last season, and I like to see him sort of advance from that. He's at the Euros right now with Portugal, and I just feel like his career is only going to get better. Centre midfielders, we still have Frank Kessie, the MVP of last season, and Benacer, who are obviously the starters of the squad. As of yet, we have not finalised the deal yet to sign Tonali outright. I hear that's very close to being finalised, throwing in some counterpiece players, potentially like Colombo on loan, and Oza from the youth team, the Primavera, might be going the other way to Brescia. So that I wouldn't be surprised that deal gets finalised next week or the week after, obviously approaching July. And also we then need need another centre midfielder, because we're not gonna take the deal to sign Mate outright from Torino. And the rumours of these players have been Kamara from Marseille. There's a rumoured deal. Hopefully we can get around 20 million euros for that one. He is the younger profile of the two I'm about to mention. The other one is Bakayoko, who spent last year on loan at Napoli. Kind of had a wishy-washy year. It wasn't perfect, but we know what we get from Bakayoko. I feel like if we are to sign him from Chelsea, they certainly will not be taking another loan deal for him. It would be required around 10 to 12 million euros to sign him outright. Personally, I would obviously love to see us go for the younger profile in Kamara. And I just, obviously I like younger players coming into the squad so we can develop in the case that we have to sell one in a potential future. But also, most notably for this position, us fans have to realise that Kessie and Benacer will be going, well, as currently planned, to the African Cup of Nations in late January 2022. So we are going to need depth in this position, and that is obviously us signing two centre midfielders. So we're already at a point right now where we need a backup left back, a backup right back, and two centre midfielders come into the squad. Despite the fact that Tonali is obviously very close, that deal still needs to go over the line to see us bolster this squad and allow us to deal with the long season and the many games approaching it. Things don't really get easier in the attacking departments as well. Obviously, I've spoken before that Hakan Çalhanoğlu has departed the squad. He has gone to Inter Milan, and he was our starting attacking midfielder. This is a hard one to take, because obviously I don't think Maldini expected this. I feel like Maldini expected him to eventually agree the contract renewal, considering the fact he didn't have an impressive Euros. But Inter Milan, in the incidents of Eriksen going down with his cardiac arrest, which is kind of putting his career in doubt, they made a move for Çalhanoğlu and paid him a lot more money than we were ever going to pay him, and obviously too much, in my opinion, for him to be on. But that's still an issue now that we need to resolve and rebolster this squad with not only a backup attacking midfielder. I know we're very close to getting the Brahim Diaz renewed with a right to buy, and then also counter right to buy back from Real Madrid, but it still leaves us in a position to get that deal done, and also another attacking midfielder coming into the squad. Names that we're hearing, it's very early doors on this one. I would take it with a pinch of salt. We're hearing names like obviously James Rodriguez, Luis Alberto, even Josip Ilicic, who we've been rumoured with since the tail end of last season. I don't really have an opinion on this one. I would love, obviously, a top profile attacking midfielder. I feel Maldini will be very calculated with this signing, though. He's not going to rush and make this signing from the get-go. He will get the Brahim Diaz deal done, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and then make a sort of calculated move and get the right player. And I kind of made a good point on this one. I feel like it was a good point on Twitter, which was, despite the fact you might want a certain player to come into the squad, doesn't mean that the player that Maldini eventually gets is the wrong one. Have faith in management. I feel like the signings that they've made so far have been correct ones. Regardless if you feel like they're not handling the contract renewals accurately, I still think the players coming into the squad have been good players. I don't think, obviously, other than Mandzukic, was a complete risk. And obviously showed the intentions that Elliott weren't really willing to spend money in the January transfer window last year without Champions League football guaranteed. Other than that, the loan signings and the signings that have been brought in from Maldini have been pretty good. So I do feel like he's on a sort of a roll with this one. So have faith in that one. So that's wrapping up the attacking midfield position, and then we're going to move on to the right winger position. Another one which is quite well talked about, because obviously we need someone who's a bit more attack minded. If you know me on Twitter, I'm an avid Alexis Salamaker's fan, whatever you want to call it. I do love the player. I love what Alexis Salamaker brings to our squad. A lot of discipline, a lot of heart, a lot of working off the ball, a lot of adding to our build-up play. But I get it. We do need a player who is more of an outlet with a threat, from scoring as a right winger. Linked with players like Ikone would be obviously a topper profile with more money involved with. There have also been lesser players we've been linked and rumoured with. Under and Adli from France. Obviously, those are players that might cost around 10 million euros to get outright. Yeah, it's a hard one with that one. Obviously, I just don't want to see a player come in for the sake of it. I don't want just another Samuel Castillejo coming into the squad. You kind of want someone who is really going to add to this squad and add some goals, 7 to 10 goals a season, and that will, you know, mean a lot for us going forward. Speaking about forwards, we still have the issue of a centre forward, really, with obviously Ibrahimovic and his surgery being confirmed, out for about 8 weeks. We're not going to really see him getting back to training until towards August. That for me is very concerning. I feel like he is one injury away from calling it a day. I do really hope that this surgery is going to finalise his issue and he can start the new season with a new lease of life. But what we have to do, what Maldini has to do, is, you know, reimburse this squad with more depth in the attacking department to kind of put less of a strain on Ibra, because it was clearly there at the start of last season. We need to sign a backup centre forward and potentially another a third centre forward. Obviously, constantly rumoured with getting Olivier Giroud from Chelsea. Every week I seem to be hearing that deal is close to being finalised. I think it is going to happen. Just sort of, perhaps it's just waiting to get closer to the July the 1st window opening for it to be finalised. And obviously he's out there with France at the Euros. So, you know, there are sort of things that play at that one. So I do feel like Giroud's going to come in. And also, who would we get as the, you know, if we are going to get a third centre forward, who is that person going to be? You know, I even heard of rumours, links with us getting Cutrone back on loan, perhaps for a year, to play as the third fiddle, as the centre forward. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of positions here at play that we need to sort out, and that's not even talking about the players who are rumoured to be leaving the squad, who are obviously still under contract with us. You know, is Alessio Romagnoli going to stay? Jens Peter Haig, we're talking about potentially trying to make a 10 mil profit on that from the signing we made last summer. Rafael Leao, he's not had a great, well, not a bad season, but he's just not developing as we like to hope. So are we going to bite the bullet on that one, sell for around 25 million euros and reinvest that money and get another player in? One player I very much like is Damsgaard from Sampdoria. He is impressing very much with Denmark at the Euros. A lot of us on Centre Milan love this guy. He can play a multitude of positions, obviously preferably at the left winger position. I'm going to say it right now. I would very much like us to sell Rafael Leao if it means us getting Damsgaard. I feel like he's just more astute. He's 20, 21 years old. He's kind of getting the exact same profile as Leao, but maybe someone who's a bit more suited to Serie A. And if it means Rafael Leao going, I wish him all the best. I really do. I just kind of think that it's going the way that he's not suited to this league. Very similar to Andre Silva, very similar to Lucas Paqueta. I just feel like maybe this just isn't a league for him. It's too too many defensive back of free formations. It's too tight. It's very tactical. Obviously, you don't have a lot of space to run into as I think he would enjoy. Perhaps he would prefer to go to the German league or back to France or even to the English Premier League, and it might suit him a lot better. But we'll see. But there is clearly a lot of work for Maldini to do in this off-season, and it's only going to get busier and busier. He's had a bit of time to obviously test the waters with some clubs to get some signings done. Obviously, his priority is getting the renewed loan deal for Brahim Diaz, getting the Tonali deal finished. Those are the priorities, because then we know what we're working with, and then we kind of go from there. He's obviously, like I said, Dalot, Junior Firpo, but they might be coming in on loan. But yeah, there's a lot of work really for Maldini to do, let alone the contract renewals for players like Frank Kessie. So wrap things up here today, guys. I hope you're staying really safe out there. I hope everything's good. I've just got my first COVID jab, so if any of you from UK and haven't got it yet, I will recommend you guys get that. It's all for the best of us, really. So until next time, guys, I'm going to wrap things up. Forza Milan.